Hello, everyone. This is the very first, what would you call this? What would you call this? Welcome to the pilot episode of Breealizations. Welcome to the safe space where I just want to chat about things that I come across. A friend of mine who is a very knowledgeable therapist, tons of schooling, tons of helping all over the community in different walks of life. He has exceptional life experience and career experience, and I really value the words that he says. We're actually working on some projects, so you may get to meet my friend. But we were talking the other day, and we were talking about the books that I wrote. For those of you who don't know, I am an author. I have 2 books out at the moment, and I'm working on a third, as well as a spinoff that I will share with you eventually. You'll see it. It'll all happen. It'll all come to fruition. But right now, I want to create this safe space because my friend reminded me yesterday that the books allow me a very safe way to heal and a very interesting way to heal. And he reminded me that it is so unique, and most people do not ever find this safe space of healing, and that creates a whole nother world for me. And he said that the way that I'm doing it is special and unique, and I can't forget that because most people don't know how to get here. And I realized I'm really lucky that I know how to get here, that I have had people along the way that showed me how to go and where to, send my thoughts and spend my time. And I've been very supported and very lucky that I have been listening and leaning in the way that I have. But do I wish that I would have done it earlier? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Don't we all? Don't we all? But that is not my story. And here I am. So, safe space activated. We're going to grab water. It's one thing I always hear is I struggle to drink water. So in these videos, we will be drinking water and we'll be reminding ourselves to drink water. And I will be showing you a technique that I use for grounding with water. So let's kick this off right. Grab your water. Cheers. Here we go. So this came about because I am a coach. I'm a wellness coach. I also am a health coach, and I have been doing group settings, one-on-ones for the last year-ish, and it's been magical. It's been really amazing seeing the transformation that people have been making and seeing everything come together, all my dreams aligning. My whole life, people told me I needed to focus on one thing and one thing only. And that always felt gross to me. And I just didn't want to do that. I needed to run all over. I actually get more burnt out if I put all my energy in one basket. So I have been opening up to the idea of creating all of the worlds that I want and combining them all together. Essentially just becoming who I genuinely feel I am. So the first thing that we are going to talk about today is, do you trust yourself? I'm going to give you some things that you can journal on at the end of this, and I'm just going to take you through a little bit of some examples, some stories, and hopefully something sparks with you. When I say, do you trust yourself, I mean your decisions. So that can look like a lot of things. Do you trust yourself when it comes to dating? Do you trust yourself with what to wear when you leave the house? Do you trust yourself at your job to do more, to up level, to anything? Do you trust yourself as a parent, a friend, a daughter? Do you trust yourself to make good decisions for you? A lot of times when I ask that, we find that we don't. And for a lot of us, that can feel like a really big slap to the face. The first time we really start to recognize, whoa, I really don't trust myself. I know for me personally, I used to say that all the time in a joking sense about dating, but I meant it in a very serious sense. I did not feel like I had any place to be dating because I picked the worst people for me. And the thing is I didn't really have a type. I did, but I didn't realize it then because I dated all different types of body types, races, religions. Like it just didn't matter to me. I was just kind of flowing. And as long as somebody wanted to let me be free, I wasn't really looking for a specific kind of person. And then I realized no, I was looking for somebody who was broken, who was hurt, who had been beat down in this world, and I wanted to create a really magical space for them. But I thought that if I healed them, if I fixed them, they would fix me and they would help me figure out why I was still so sad and why I was still struggling and why I couldn't use my words and I wasn't moving forward with my dreams. And I needed someone that was going to light a fire for me too. And it seemed like once they started getting better, they just thought I was great. And that was it. That was all we were going to do. And I was like, but I'm not great. So then I would start to show them, hey, I'm not great. And I would shut down and I would lash out. And I wasn't an easy person to date once I got to that space. And I never admitted that. I never sat with that. So it wasn't that I didn't trust myself. It was that I knew I had reached all I was going to reach at that point in the relationship. They weren't able to pull me out anymore, and I wasn't able to find the strength to give anymore. I thought I was giving everything. I needed somebody who showed me I wasn't, and I needed somebody who reframed my thoughts and helped me get there. So we did everything that we were supposed to do together at that point. And what always happened at that point in the relationship is I would honestly turn into a stepford wife. I would do anything that I assumed was the correct behavior. I tried to be super mom, super stepmom, super wife, super girlfriend, super whatever it was. I wanted to make the dinners and run everybody everywhere and bring the, moms and everyone together. I wanted this cohesive, wonderful environment. And it seemed like once I started getting it, upheaval would happen. And somebody would cheat on me or lie to me or break up with me because I wasn't what they wanted. They wanted more adventure. They thought I was going to be something else. And all I heard from that was I wasn't enough. So in the next relationship, I would carry that over. And once that point would come, instead of evaluating and saying, hey, I'm not feeling the same anymore, and I don't feel like you are either, and I think that we both need to go our separate ways at this time, I ghosted, or I lashed out, or I shut down, or I created problems for us. And I do that when I push boundaries. I want something more, and I can't quite find it. But I didn't find all of this out. And I couldn't apply it in a relationship until I asked myself, do you trust yourself? Do I trust myself to know that I can lean in and I'll end up where I need to be? Do I trust myself to believe that all of the information that I need in order to do this is within me? Do I trust myself to be vulnerable enough and to put myself out there and to handle anything that comes my way? And only going through all of the ways that I didn't trust myself and all of the ways I had felt I let myself down, all of the times I didn't stick up for myself, all of the times I didn't use my words, all of the time I disassociated instead of stomping my foot and saying, no, thank you. You will not speak to me in that tone or in that manner. I took it. I buried myself deep, deep, deep inside. And I took it, and I took it personally. What I needed to do in that moment was to actually detach in a healthier way. I needed to detach from my emotions. I needed to drop my defense. I needed to really listen. And if I would have just listened instead of taking all of this other human's hurt, I could have heard them actually tell me, hey, I didn't have a good childhood and I'm really struggling in this memory. I'm lashing out because these things that I am doing to him, that's why he's lashing out. I'm triggering this memory. I am doing something that is making him think of this time in his life and he feels scared. He feels uncomfortable. I could have had them paint me a picture. I could have had them walk me through it. We could have just talked about their experience. But instead, I wanted him to know how important it was that I understood and that I related and that we could help each other through it. So instead of listening, I made it about me, and I didn't mean to. I thought in making it about me, I was showing him, hey, you're safe here. But instead, I was saying, hey, here's what works for me. Try it and get back to me, and let's see if you're better. And then he just shut down because I wasn't really hearing it, and I wasn't really helping him either. So we both needed other people. We weren't in a space where we could help each other any further in this journey, and that is what it's all about. This journey isn't perfect, and coming together with another human is hard, and we'll discuss relationship things all over. But until we learn to truly understand ourselves, we can't help another person understand how to treat us. And that's what this is all about. We essentially have to teach everyone what it is that we need, how we can communicate the most effectively. If I tell you, hey, I can't take it in unless you get my attention, and you say, hey, Bree, I'm going to tell you how to do this, and then you repeat it back to me. I learn well like that. You'll know right away if I know what I'm doing or not. We both feel good in that. If I agree to that and I say, yes, thank you for paying attention to my learning style. And then they say, okay, I need you to do X, Y, Z. What are you going to do? And I say, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. We are both confident now. We are both not stressed. Our frustration is non existent. We both have faith in each other. And that's a perfect part for if I said, wait, I do X and then Y, and then how do I get to Z? She can tell me. That was weird. She can tell me. She can let me know what it is and explain it in a different way. And I can say to her, hey, right here, this is where I'm missing something. Can you explain this part to me? When we can do that, there's no frustration. There is no feeling stupid or feeling of being a burden. It just works easily, and people appreciate when you can just clearly state what it is that you need help with. We do this everywhere. So do you trust yourself? Let's take a look at it. Let's journal on it. Let's really see what sparks for you. When did you stop trusting yourself? If at any point on this journey you were like, ooh, right here, I didn't. Let's talk about it. Let's dive in. Paint a picture that really would take me through it. Write as if you're writing to me, whether you send it to me or show it to me or you never do. If that helps you, use that. Paint me a picture. Think about if I don't know this story, what would I need to know? Think about how you felt. What was the air like? What was the day like? What was the whole vibe like? Were you already anxious? Were you this? Were you that? Were you tired? Were you happy? Like, what was happening in your life? Paint me a whole picture, because the more descriptive we can get, the more we get into the memory and the more we unlock and the more we heal. It was really hard for me when I started writing the books to not think of but what if? My big one was I could never write a book of substance. Who will read my words and think, yeah, that was it? That's what I needed. And once I got out of my own way and I realized who is everyone? Who is this everybody I keep referring to in my brain? I started thinking about the people that had been really rude to me in my life. And I started thinking about the things that they had said to me. And it's funny because I've carried this with me for a lifetime. And the more I started diving into who told me these things, I realized they're either not even in my life anymore. I honestly do not care at all what they think, and they aren't living their life in any way, shape, or form that I would want to live my life in. So once I started realizing my everybody needs an adjustment, and I started adjusting, and I realized in going through this, do I trust myself and why? I realized that my everybody that I was thinking of, a lot of it was from like movies, TV shows, my friends, my family. It was like things that other people had put on me. And I realized I needed to strip this all away. When I was little, before I knew anything about life, I was just a free spirit. I was having a lovely time in life before all of the things kind of came and rocked me off course. And I still had a good time through that. But I'm getting back to who I was before and mashing it up with who I feel I am now and who I want to be. And I'm realizing we can have all of that. Take a sip of your water. Let's think about how we see ourselves right now. Are you happy with your body? Are you happy with your home? Think about your friends, your circle, your social circle, your support circle, all of it. Your job, everything. When you think about yourself right now, does your current state line up with how you see yourself in your mind? If somebody snapped a photo of you, would you see it and recognize yourself? Sometimes that seems like what kind of question. Why would I ask that, right? I ask because I didn't realize how far off track I was until one of my very best friends had tagged me in a photo. I had been over there for one of her kids' birthdays, and it was years and years and years ago. And she tagged me in a photo, and I messaged her, and I said, oh, hey, girl, think you messed up and tagged me in that photo. I'm not in there. And she wrote back, what are you talking about? You're right there with the summer shandy. And I zoomed in because I was like, what? That's not me. And I zoomed in and I saw my face. And I was shocked. And I was like, that is what I look like right now? And she said, yeah, what do you mean? I was like, that's not what I see when I look in the mirror. Like, I still see myself as an athlete. I still see myself like how I was in high school. And she was like, oh, girl, it's been a minute. And I was just shocked. I had no idea. And then I was aware and I started paying attention. I was having a lot of trouble walking up the stairs. I was out of breath. I wasn't really moving. I was struggling to tie my shoes. It was uncomfortable. I was in a very comforted zone then. And when I saw that photo, I just was shocked. And I was really depressed about it and really sad. And I also knew really not ready to do anything about it. And I was actually kind of mad I was aware because I just wanted to go to Olive Garden again. And now I couldn't stop thinking about how, oh, if I go to Olive Garden, I'm just going to keep going. And I know I have to stop somewhere, but how do you stop when you never feel ready? and you don't really feel anything. It's easy to keep getting swept back up into that circle. And it's a lot of work to get out. And sometimes when you're there, how are you supposed to even move? When you're too tired to even get up off the couch or acknowledge, right? I was there for a really long time. And I could have, in that moment, I could have just kept going to Olive Garden. I could have beat myself up. I could have made things worse. And Lord knows there were times that I did. But I'm going to tell you the biggest change that really got me. And that is, for the first time in my life, at my absolute heaviest, I asked myself for the first time, what do you love about your body right now? Not what would you love about your body if, what do you love about your body right now? And I really started thinking about my situation that I was in. And I had just left yet again another toxic relationship, and I was heartbroken, and I thought it would be different, and I thought he understood me and he saw me, and he didn't. That's where I was at that point. I see it all differently now, but again, another time. We'll do a lot on relationships. But when I really started looking in and I started just saying, let's forget about all the boys. Let's forget about all the dating. Let's forget about any of that. And let's just see what I need. What do I love about my body right now? And I loved a lot. And I was surprised. It was all functionality based at that point. I loved that I was able to move. I loved that I didn't feel like I was to a point I couldn't come back from. I loved that I could still just go join a CrossFit class and probably take off 20 pounds in no time. I loved that I had the knowledge and the support and the community and other people that were doing the same things. So I was very grateful for all of those things around me. And I was grateful that I was aware and that my friend did tag me in that photo and that I did have this moment and that I did turn it into a positive. So I focused on that for the first time ever. And every time I was in that space, I did really well over the next few years. But I got hit really hard, really, really hard in the relationship world. And I roller coastered a lot and was on and off and on and off. And the more I look back on it and the more I commend myself for having such a beautiful coping mechanism where I wasn't really hurting anyone. And I felt very safe with food as my comfort. And I listened when my body was no longer responding to this coping mechanism, and I would move, I would try, I would eat better, I would do things. And each time my mental got stronger and stronger and stronger, and I got more sure of myself in my skin, exactly where I was. And once that happened, it was different in my home, my person, my body, for the first time in my life. When I was a cheerleader and I was a sophomore in high school and I was the tiniest I've ever been in my life, I didn't love my body. When I was a brand new mom and I snapped back and everyone was commenting on it, I didn't love my body. When I lost a ton of weight in 2016, I didn't love my body. When I look back at my roller coaster weights, my unhealthy weight loss paired with my healthy weight loss, I never truly loved my body. And this is the first time I haven't roller coastered in, like a year, maybe over a year. I just lose or I maintain. And the only thing that I have done differently is raise my awareness, listen, and love my body. I still eat donuts. I still eat whatever I want a lot of the time. I know there's always room for improvement, and I also know that there's room to play. And I appreciate all of the moments. I try to stay in the gratitude and I try to ground. I'm going to show you a cool water technique right now. When you're stressed out, if you're chewing on your cheeks, if your shoulders are up, if you're tense, if you're short tempered, anything, grab your water, take a drink, and hold it. So, you're going to just hold it in your mouth, swish it around, let your jaw relax, let your shoulders relax. Just do that. Even if you're working, even if you're doing anything, you're typing, you're running around, you're cleaning the kitchen, anything. Just hold it in your mouth for a little bit. Not only is it great for your brain health, but your whole body gets it regulating. Breathe in and out of your nose. Holding the water in your mouth brings you back, helps you feel something, helps you relieve some of that tension, and you're getting your water in. So now you have a technique anytime you're feeling stressed out. If you notice your signs of stress, mine are biting my cheeks. It is excessively getting in here with my hair. My shoulders will be up. There's lots of things. Sometimes my back will start to hurt. There's lots of things that happen. Or if I get a headache, I need that water. Now you have a grounding technique and a way to drink more water. It's fantastic. So, do you trust yourself? Circling it right back. That's what we want to know. We're going to go ahead. I want you to just get comfy. Drop your shoulders. Have a seat. Stand up. Lay down. Whatever feels good on your body. I want you to just get comfortable and relax and let your eyes close. I want you to just take a big breath in through your nose and back out through your nose. Try to keep your shoulders still, breathing in from your belly and out. Just keep breathing, being right here. Do you trust yourself? Where do you go? What do you think of? Who is your everyone? If you fail, if you're not enough, who is your everyone that will say things to you? Who is your everyone that will be disappointed? Everyone that knew. And how do you see yourself right now? Are you in line with who you want to be? With who you see yourself as? Do you feel good about where you are right now? If you don't, what do you need? What is one thing that you can do that would bring you just a little bit closer to one thing that you really want to be or do? Take another big breath in through your nose and out. As soon as you trust yourself, you will know how to live. You will know what to do. Do you trust yourself? If not, how do you build? Where do you need to visit from your journey? What part of your past needs to heal for you to have the future that you deserve, that you dream of, that puts all that goodness into the world? That's what it's all about. How do we get more goodness into the world? I tell you, I'm proof. Learning how to trust yourself, that's a good start. One more breath in and out. Let your eyes open. Shake it out. One more drink of water and hold it. All right, you guys. This has been absolutely magical. I hope you enjoy. I'm really excited to do more of these with you. I love you guys so much, and let's go. Let's heal. Let's grow together. Let's get that good out. We need it. All right, everybody. That concludes the very first episode of Breealizations. If you want to check me out further, feel free to go to the website justbreehlc.com. You can find me on all social at justbreehlc. Please subscribe, rate, review, all those things that'll make this successful. And if you have a topic, if you have something that you want me to touch on, please, please, please comment, DM me, wherever you can get it to me, get it to me. I want it. I want to talk about it. I appreciate you all so much. Thanks for vibing with me.